Hello, we looked previously at how if you've got 6 key elements of your business running fully and properly, then you've got a business that runs itself when you're not there, and also a business you could sell because it's a business that runs itself when you're not there. The 6 key elements are goals and strategy, having plans in place, understanding your finance and numbers, understanding how to properly market and sell. This is all about strategic marketing rather than tactical marketing. Developing the right sort of people and teams within your business, or outsourcing in the right way. Having systems in place so that the whole thing runs if you're not there, because there are systems that other people can follow. And obviously operations, which is the things you do, which tends to be an area that people are most strong in when they run their own business. If you understand your finance and numbers, it makes a huge impact on your bottom line. So this is only part of the picture. However, if you know your average price and you know your volume, that would tell you your revenue. So here, to keep it simple, the price is 1,000, the volume's 1,000, your revenue is 1,000,000. If you understand your variable costs, so those are the costs that vary directly with your volume of output and sales. So that will be things like material costs, possibly energy costs, possibly direct commissions, etc. If you're a service industry, you may not have really many of these at all, but if you're a manufacturing or distribution business, you may well have significant amounts of them. Let's just say there's 600 per item here. That'll give you a gross margin of 40%, which means a gross profit of 400,000, 40% of 1,000,000. If you then know your other overheads, so your fixed costs, so they'd be things like plant, machinery costs, premises, rent rates, etc., probably wages and salaries in most part, then that will tell you your operating, or sometimes called net profit, which is here 200,000. Gross profit 400,000, overheads 200, bottom line profit 200. If you could make a 10% improvement in your average price, your volume of sales, your variable costs and your fixed costs, that would make a huge impact to your bottom line, astonishingly huge actually. So if you could get your average price up by 10% by having things like different packages, gold, silver, bronze, maybe upsell, cross-sell, there's different ways of doing this. We get our average price up to 1,100. We sell more because we have better systems in place for following up on leads and for converting leads, and we make more regular contact with our prospects and customers. Those two changes would bring your revenue up from 1,000,000 to 1.21 million. If we could then shade improvements in our variable costs down by 10% and our fixed costs down by 10%, then our gross margin goes up to 48%, simply because we're charging more and we've got lower variable costs. We make a gross profit of 583,000. We shade 10% off our overheads to get them down to 180. And our operating profit has more than doubled to 403,000. So 4 lots of 10% improvements have more than doubled our bottom line operating profit. Now you may say, well, I'm not going to be able to get my overheads down by 10%, and that's fair enough. However, you could possibly and probably increase your average revenue by much more than I've said, because really 10% in terms of getting your average price per unit up, or whatever your thing you sell is, and 10% in terms of improving your volume is actually very doable. If you have a market dominating position where you can differentiate yourself from the competition, for example, that may well get you the extra 10% price and volume on its own without doing any of the other things I mentioned. Now, the other way of looking at this, by the way, is 4 lots of 10% is 40. That's less than 1% a week in terms of overall improvement in one key area. So if you can find time to work on your business in line with your goals and strategy and concentrate on making those small improvements, you can make a huge difference to your bottom line. If you were part of a group of advisors, you could maybe get ideas, hints, things that worked for other people, things that haven't worked for other people, things you could try that you haven't thought of. And then you're most likely to actually implement those ideas, if you think they're good ideas, if you're being held accountable subsequently the next time you meet, when people say, last time you said you were going to do this, how did that go? You're 2, 3, 4 times more likely to actually implement if you're held to that sort of accountability than if you just think, tomorrow I ought to do something, and then something else crops up which distracts you and stops you doing it. So if you wanted to find out more about how that could work, have a look at businessroundtableuk.co.uk. And here I've just shown you how understanding your finances and your numbers and then letting them guide your actions can make a huge impact to the bottom line of your business, whatever the business. Hope you found that interesting and useful. Thank you very much for watching today.